Okay, so it is the time of the year where we film my entire owned TBR video. So depending on how long you guys have been with me and with my channel, you may be familiar with this video. Every December I go through every single book I have and show you guys which ones I haven't read. Now I do have a substantial book collection. This entire room is dedicated to my books, filming and editing, so we have quite a few to get through. I have been fixing my own TBR page on my spreadsheet. I haven't finished cataloguing them all yet, but I am at around a 40% read ratio. I have always had more unread books than I have read books. If I don't like a book, I unhaul it and I replace it with a book that I'm excited to read, and this is like my own personal library where I have a whole range of stuff in a whole range of genres, so that no matter what I am in the mood for, I have a book to fit my particular taste that day. So because of how many books are going to be in this video, I will not be telling you anything about them. I will just literally be holding them up and saying the name of the book and the author. This video does also serve another purpose because there is a square on my Bookopoly board that is viewer recommends that will be staying for the 2021 board as well. So if at any point throughout this video you see a book that you would like me to read, pop it down in the comments. You can leave as many comments as you like, so you can do it like one by one. If you see 10 books that you want me to read, feel free to add them all, whether that be in individual comments or a big paragraph. You can also just put like a series name as well if there's just a particular series you would like me to read. By the end of this video, you guys will get a final number of the amount of unread books that I have. While I am filming this, I will have no idea what that number is. I won't know until I've completed editing it. Last year it was 379 unread books, I think. Based on the amount of books that I've read, taking into account that some of them were ebooks or audiobooks and I don't own them, and based on the amount of books that I've hauled, taking into account some of them were arcs that I've read and unhauled, some were ebooks, etc. I'm gonna estimate that this is going to be just under 450 books. Fingers crossed that is the case. I have read more books this year than I have any other year. I'm currently on 100 books read, so I'm reading them. I'm reading a lot. I just on a lot of books. But without further ado, let us get started. Starting off with these two massive shelves behind me, which are the bulk of my collection. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. Night Country by Melissa Albert. What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. The Power by Naomi Alderman. Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. Three Dark Crowns, One Dark Throne, and Queens of Fenburn by Kendar Blake. Ink by Alice Broadway. Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Stormfront, Grave Peril, Summer Night, and Death Mask by Jim Butcher. The Magician's Apprentice by Trudy Canavan. Most of the next group I read when I was a kid, but I remember nothing about them and would like to reread them. Size 12 is not fat, size 14 is not fat either. Airhead, When Lightning Strikes, Codename Cassandra, Safe House, Sanctuary, Insatiable, and Overbite by Meg Cabot. Graceling and Fire by Kristen Kashaw. The Selection, The Crown, The Heir, The One, and The Elite by Kira Cass. The Demon King by Cinda Williams-Chimer. Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho. By the Pricking of My Thumbs, N.R.M. and Poston of Fate by Agatha Christie. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, and The 12 Days of Dash and Lily by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. Labyrinth Lost by Zoraida Cordova. Leviathan Wakes and Persepolis Rising by James S.A. Corey. Clean by Juno Dawson. Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. Lock and Key, That Summer, and The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Ames. The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. The Diamond Throne by David Eddings. Faye by Cassandra Faye. The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer. Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. I Have Lost My Way by Gail Foreman. The Darkest Bloom by PM Freestone. Berserk, Gone, Lies, and Light by Michael Grant. Feed by Myra Grant. Let It Snow by John Green, Laura Miracle, and Maureen Johnson. An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. Alex in Wonderland by Simon James Green. Oathtaker by Audrey Gray. Other Words for Smoke by Sarah Maria Griffin. Malice by John Gwynn. The Lie Tree and Cuckoo Song by Frances Hardinge. A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. Dead as a Doornail, Definitely Dead, Altogether Dead, From Dead to Worse, Dead and Gone, Dead in the Family, A Touch of Dead, Dead Reckoning, Deadlock, and Dead Ever After by Charlene Harris. Seraphina and Test of the Road by Rachel Hartman. The Deck of Omens by Christine Lynn Herman. The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. Confess by Colleen Hoover. The Midnight Queen by Sylvia Hunter. The Next Together and The Last Beginning by Lauren James. The Fifth Season and The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. First Grave on the Right and Fifth Grave from the Light by Dorinda Jones, Winter Song by S.J. Jones, These Broken Stars, This Shattered World, and Undying by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll, Prince of Thorns, Prince of Fools, Red Sister and Grey Sister by Mark Lawrence, Ancillary Justice and Providence by Anne Lickie, Jade City by Fonda Lee, Warcross by Marie Lu, Every Day by David Levithan, The Lies of Loch Lamora and Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch, What the Dickens by Gregory Maguire, Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, Daughter of the Flames by Zoe Marriott, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms by George R.R. Martin, The Towering Sky and The Dazzling Heights by Catherine McGee, The Novice by Tara Matharu, The Short Second Life of Britannia by Stephanie Meyer, Innocent Mage, Awakened Mage, Empress, The Riven Kingdom and Hammer of God by Karen Miller, Cloud Atlas, Number 9 Dream and The Thousand Autumns of Jacob de Zoet by David Mitchell, The 100 by Cass Morgan, Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty, A Wild Sheep Chase, Colorless, Tsukuru Tazaki and His Years of Pilgrimage, Norwegian Wood and 1Q84 Books 1 and 2 by Haruki Murakami, The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answer, More Than This and The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness, Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Nouvelle, The Elites by Natasha Nyan, Starter for 10, The Understudy and Us by David Nichols, Temeraire, Throne of Jade, Black Powder War and Uprooted by Naomi Novik, Dorothy Must Die, The Wicked Will Rise, Dorothy Must Die Stories Volume 1 and Dorothy Must Die Stories Volume 2 by Danielle Page, Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessel, The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill, The Boy with the Porcelain Blade by Den Patrick, Withering Tights by Louise Renison, Falling Kingdoms, Rebel Sands, Gathering Darkness, Frozen Tides and Crystal Storms by Morgan Rhodes, Interview with the Vampire and The Vampire Lestat by Anne Rice, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Hollow City and The Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs, A List of Cages by Robin Rowe, The Queen's Rising by Rebecca Ross, Under the Never Sky, Through the Evernight and Into the Still Blue by Veronica Rossi, The Sisters of the Winterwood by Rena Rossner, The Name of the Wind and The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, The Winner's Curse and The Winner's Crime by Marie Rakowski, The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan, Nerve by Gian Ryan, The Scarecrow Queen and Hold Back the Tide by Melinda Salisbury, Sword of Destiny, Blood of Elves, Time of Contempt and The Terror of Swallows by Angers Sapkowski, Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian, The Lying Game, Never Have I Ever, Two Truths and a Lie, Pretty Little Liars, Flawless, Perfect, Unbelievable, Heartless and Wanted by Sarah Shepherd, Angel's Blood by Nalini Singh, The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye, Poison Study, Magic Study and Fire Study by Maria V. Snyder, Lament, Ballad and The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, Disenchanted by Brianna Shigalski, An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, Battle Royale by Kusan Takami, Night of Cake and Puppets by Lainey Taylor, The Girl in 6E by A.R. Tor, Enchantée by Gita Trelise, The Boneless Mercies by April Genevieve Tucholke, The Thief by Megan Wallen Turner, The Wolf of Oranyaro by K.S. Veloso, The Last Boy and Girl in the World by Siobhan Vivian, All Is Not Forgotten by Wendy Walker, We All Looked Up by Tommy Willett, The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender and The Price Guide to the Occult by Leslie Walton, Before I Fall Asleep by S.J. Watson, The Distance Between Us by Casey West, Uglies, Pretties, Extras and Specials by Scott Westerfield, The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winters, And I Darken and Slayer by Kirsten White, 6'4" by Hideo Yokiyama, The Girl King by Mimi Yu, You Know You Love Me, All I Want Is Everything, Because I'm Worth It, I Like It Like That, You're the One That I Want, Nobody Does It Better, Nothing Can Keep Us Together, Only in Your Dreams, Would I Lie to You, Don't You Forget About Me, It Had to Be You, It Girl, Infamous, Reckless and Notorious by Cicely von Ziegazar, The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafon, Born by Jeff Vandermeer, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Defiance by CJ Redwine, The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid, Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim, The Bonehouses by Emily Lloyd Jones, Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, Descendant of the Crane by Joan He, Evermore by Sarah Holland, Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, Wicked Fox by Kat Cho, A Thousand Pieces of You by Claudia Gray, House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig, Mirage by Samaya Dowd, The Savage Grace by Brie Despain, Kingdom of Copper and Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty, Dragonflight by Anne McCaffrey, Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb, My True Love Gave to Me 12 Winter Romances edited by Stephanie Perkins, The Last Namsara and The Cage Queen by Kristen Cicerelli, Wonder Woman Warbringer and Ninth House by Lee Bardugo, Ruthless Gods by Emily A. Duncan, Lady Hotspur by Tessa Grattan, Sanctuary by V.V. James, The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kwong, The Saviour's Champion by Jenna Moresi, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight and Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor, Planet of the Apes by Pierre Boulle, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess, The Five Orange Pips and Other Cases, and The Adventure of the Engineer's Thumb and Other Cases by Arthur Conan Doyle, Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe, Defoe, Middlemarch by George Eliot, A Room with a View by E.M. Forster, Les Miserables Volume 1 and Les Miserables Volume 2 by Victor Hugo, The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Treasure Island and the Ebb Tide by Robert Louis Stevenson, Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift, In Memoriam, Maud and Other Poems by Alfred Tennyson, Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray, The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, Children of the Whales Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8 and Volume 9 by Abi Umeda, Death Note Black Edition Volume 1 by Tsugumi Oba and Takeshi Obata, Fruits Basket Collector's Edition Volume 1 by Natsuki Takaya, Resident Evil The Malhawa Desire by Naoki Sarazawa, We Were There by Yuki Obata, Oz the Complete Collection Volume 1 by L. Frank Baum, Alice's Adventures Through Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll, Mary Poppins Comes Back, Mary Poppins Opens the Door, Mary Poppins in the Park, and Mary Poppins in Cherry Tree Lane by P.L. Travers, Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare, Cloud of Sparrows by Takashi Matsuoka, Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb, A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White, Witchy by Ariel Slamé-Rees, School for Nobodies by Susie Bauer, a box set of the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson, including The Kiss of Deception, The Heart of Betrayal, and The Beauty of Darkness, Daughter of the Blood by Anne Bishop, Fairies, The Myths, Legends, and Lore by Sky Alexander, Star Daughter by Shavita Thakrar, Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin, The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu, Dangerous Remedy by Kat Dunn, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Omnibus Season 8 Volume 1, Monstrous Volume 1 by Sana Takeda and Marjorie Liu, Isola Volume 2 by Carl Kerschel and Brandon Fletcher, Die Volume 1 Fantasy Heartbreaker, Blackbird Book 1 The Great Beast by Sam Humphries and Jem Bartel, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Volume 1 High School is Hell, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer Volume 2 Once Bitten, Fever and Wither by Lauren DiStefano, Burton on Burton by Tim Burton, Arrow Heart by Rebecca Sky, Ink Heart, Ink Spell, and Ink Death by Cornelia Funke, Steelheart, Hero of Ages, Alloy of Law, Arcanum Unbounded, Rhythm of War, and Starsight, all by Brandon Sanderson, The Dark Vault and Our Dark Duet by V. Schwab, Endsinger and Deviate by J. Christoph, Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron, The Book of S by J.J. Abrams, Broken Throne by Victoria Aveyard, The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi, Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova, Legendborn by Tracy Dion, Bats of the Republic by Zachary Thomas Dodson, Caraval by Stephanie Garber, The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson, Black Leopard Red Wolf by Marlon James, The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson, Steel Crow Saga by Paul Kruger, Holy Sister by Mark Lawrence, The Books of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin, The Painted Man by Peter V. Brett, Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles, Seven Devils by Elizabeth May and Laura Lim, Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Marino Garcia, The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, Angel Mage by Garth Nix, Witch Sign by Dem Patrick, Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, The Midnight Lie by Marie Rakowski, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien, The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White. Okay, we are in the final stretch, which is the book cart. Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown, Goddess in the Machine by Laura Beth Johnson, Havenfall by Sarah Holland, The Upside of Falling by Alex Light, Horrid by Katrina Leno, Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sim, I Hope You Get This Message by Farah Naz Rishi, The Sisters Grimm by Mena Van Prague, Fable by Adrienne Young, Cryer's War by Nina Varela, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, The Smoke Thieves by Sally Green, The Colour of Magic and The Last Hero by Terry Pratchett, The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, Sabriel, Lirael and Aborson by Garth Nix, Pinch of Magic by Michelle Harrison, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, The Good Hawk by Joseph Elliott, Suicide Club by Rachel Heng, The Fandom by Anna Day, The Deep Blue Between by Aisha Haruna Attar, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, The Disreputable History of Frankie Lando Banks by E. Lockhart, Honor Among Thieves by Rachel Kane and Anna Guire, Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the Lost by Ashley Herring Blake, The Land of Raw by Jenny McLaughlin, The Bone Witch by Rin Chapeko, Middle Game by Shauna Maguire, Romanov by Nadine Brands. The last set are from the top shelf, so these are all on my immediate TBR, or I have already started them, so you'd think that I would read most of these soon, but we'll see. The Emperor of Evening Stars by Laura Thalassa, King of Sword and Sky by C.L. Wilson, Unchosen by Catherine Blair, Good Morning, Good Night, Little Pep Talks from Me to You by Lin-Manuel Miranda, illustrated by Johnny Sun, The Mask Fallen by Samantha Shannon, Secrets of the Starcross by Clara O'Connor, Spellslinger by Sebastian D. Castell, Ready Player 2 by Ernest Cline, From Blood and Dash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, Are These My Bazoomas I See Before Me by Louise Renison, All the Birds in the Sky by Charlie Jane Anders, Dark Fever by Karen Marie Moaning, The Well of Ascension, Oathbringer Part 1, Oathbringer Part 2, and finally the book I am currently reading, Skyward, all by Brandon Sanderson. So there you have it. Those are all of the books I own that I haven't read. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I have absolutely no idea whatsoever what this number is going to be. I do estimate it being just under, I'm hoping just under, it'll be just under or just over 450 in my estimation, based on the fact that I have read 100 books so far this year, and with the amount I've hauled, it should take it over the 400 mark, but I don't think it'll take me too far over the 400 mark. We will have to wait and see, but yeah, you guys know what it is. I am planning on attempting to do a little bit of an unhaul project in 2021, because while I do still want to read all of the books that I own, there are quite a few that I don't think that I would keep once I've read them. Things like thrillers and young adult contemporary, which I want to read because I do enjoy them, but there's very little value in them to me after I've read them. So keep an eye out for that. Can't promise that it's gonna happen to the extent that I want it to, but it is something that I would like to be doing. So in the comments, please don't forget to leave me the books that you would like me to read, and maybe in 2021 we will land on that viewer recommend space in Bookopoly, and I will be picking the book that you want me to. But I have been filming for around 3 hours, so that is it for this video, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna. If you head into my description box, you'll find links to my Goodreads, Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish body butter and candle website, the Instagram for that, and a 10% off discount code. But that's it from me today, guys. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.